Welcome. In today's lecture, we are going to cover about characteristics of precision, resolution, sensitivity, errors and their types. There are two characteristics of precision. One is conformity and the other one is number of significant figures. Now, the conformity is a necessary but not sufficient condition for precision because it lacks the number of significant figures. So, precision is necessary but not a sufficient condition for accuracy. Now when you go to significant figures, these significant figures actually convey you the actual information, that is the magnitude and the measurement precision of the quantity. For example, here the current value what you have got measured, what we are measuring is specified as 11 amperes. So we can consider this value closer to 10 amps or closer to 12 amps. So there are two significant figures, that is 1 and 2, 1 and 0. Similar way, if the value what we have specified is 11.0, then here you have three significant figures that you can have is 10.9 and 11.1. So here the significant figures are 3. So this is the concept of significant figures. Now coming to resolution, resolution is defined as the smallest change in the measured value to which the instrument can respond. Okay, it is also defined as the smallest increment of the input quantity. Now resolution's formula is given by R is equals to 1 by 10 power n, where n is the number of full digits. And this is how you calculate the resolution. Now coming to sensitivity, it is defined as the ratio of output signal or response of the instrument to a change of input or measured variable. So this sensitivity, resolution, precision, accuracy, these are all the important parameters in measurement instrumentation. And the formula for sensitivity is given as sensitivity is equals to Fs minimum into R, where R is the resolution in decimals and F minimum is the lowest full scale of the meter. Now coming to the important topic, which is errors. As you know, errors is very much important in measurement because no doubtly there are some errors happening, and what are the different types of errors that are possible we'll be discussing over here. Now what is error? Error is the algebraic difference between the measured value and the true value of the quantity. Okay, so the other name of error is static error or absolute static error. So as already defined, we can also formulate the formula, that is true value minus measured value, which is nothing but our error. When you want to calculate the static error, that is the percentage error, true value minus measured value by true value into 100. You also have a relative static error, which is nothing but the ratio of true value minus measured value by true value. Now before moving to the different types of errors, why do error occur? What is the reason that we are having error? There are certain types of design limitations, poor designing and improper maintenance, and insufficient knowledge of the process parameters and design conditions. There are non-linearities and changes in process parameters, and there are also errors that are caused due to humans in operating the instrument. So these are certain sources of errors, that is the major sources due to which errors occur. Now it is necessary for us to calculate the errors because we need to have an accurate value of the measurement of the quantity what we are measuring. So it is necessary to eliminate the errors, which can be eliminated by calculating them. So there are 7 errors. First one is absolute error, second is relative error, third one is gross error, fourth is systematic or fixed error, which is further divided into instrumental, environmental, observational, static, dynamic. Then again fifth one you have is random, which is also called a residual errors. Sixth one is probable errors. Seventh one is limiting or guarantee errors. Now coming to absolute error. Absolute error is nothing but the normal error, which is nothing but the difference between the true value and the measured value. Okay, so this error does not indicate any precisely the accuracy of the measurement, and it is nothing but your normal error, which is nothing but the definition of error. Now coming to relative error, it is nothing but the ratio of measured value minus true value by true value, or it is also the ratio of absolute value to the true value. Now the third one is gross error or illegitimate errors. These are the errors which arise due to human errors, which can be happen due to the correction, due to the improper measurement of the reading, such as human errors happen while measuring, that is checking the needle position. There might be some errors, so these errors happen due to human negligence. And one more error of this type can be improper setting of initial condition, that is 0 while measurement, that is before measurement. So example, that when an experiment is measuring a particular voltage, instead of 2.2 he might measure 2.3. so these are nothing but gross error. So what are the eliminations which we should be taking to avoid that? Our proper care while taking the reading should be done, first thing. Second thing is that more number of readings should be taken, and preferably there are 2 or 3 observers. It is very much beneficial because many number of observers can eliminate the chances of errors. Now coming to systematic errors, or which is also called as fixed errors. So these errors remain constant according to definite law and repeated measurement of given quantity. These errors can be evaluated and their influence on the results can be eliminated by the introduction of proper corrections and connections. So what is the meaning is that these errors are fixed, you cannot remove them, but you can evaluate the amount of the errors, and in the results you can change or you can eliminate the error, and this can be done by making proper corrections. That is, the error what you have obtained can be inculcated in the result and you can obtain the correct value. So systematic errors are divided into 2 categories. One is category 1, other one is category 2. First one is our instrumental error, second one is environmental error, third is observational error in category 1, and in category 2 you have static error and dynamic error. Now coming to category 1, we will be dealing with instrumental errors. So as the name itself, it is due to the instruments. So what are the possibilities that you can have error in the instrument is, first is the inherent shortcomings of the instrument, improper use of the instrument, and improper loading effects of the instruments. What are the effects that are happening due to the load? Now what do you mean by inherent shortcomings of the instrument? These are because of the mechanical structure and calibration or the operation of the apparatus used. The instrument can cause the instrument used to read slow or high. So these are nothing but basically mechanical error of the instrument. Now second one related to the misuse of the instrument, that is neglecting the manufacturing instructions, specifications for how it should be used, improper adjustment of the initial 0. Okay, so all these things is nothing but improper use of the instrument, you can see it as the cause of it. Now loading effect, this is due to what you are doing on the instrument. Because of that these errors are arising. For example, if you take a well calibrated ammeter, it is giving a misleading current reading when connected across a high resistance circuit. The ammeter can give more durable reading when connected in low resistance circuit. So it depends also how you are loading the instrument, you can also get appropriate value. So this error can be eliminated by using the appropriate measurement and the appropriate type of measurement connection which you are giving to it. Now coming to how you can eliminate this instrumental error. First one is you have to select a proper measuring device, that is the instrument, for its application, applying correction factors after determining the magnitude of the instrumental error. And the third one and the last one is calibrating the instrument or the measuring device with the standard, that is the standard that has been prescribed. Now coming to environmental errors. Now environmental arises due to the external conditions of the measuring device, that is due to the environment which is been available to us. Means the environment has temperature, humidity, dust, vibration, magnetic and electrostatic fields, which causes errors in the, that is while in the measurement. So how you can eliminate this error? Use the instrument in control condition of pressure, temperature and humidity. Means whatever the instrument what you are using should be used in a proper appropriate environment, where the effect of the environment should not be influencing the measurement. And second is the calibration may be made in a new condition. Magnetic and electromagnetic shields may be provided if there is some danger of electromagnetic fields across your measuring device. Now the last one in this category is our observational errors. These errors arises due to the faulty observation while measuring it. These are the errors which are introduced by the observer while he is measuring the reading. That is, this can be due to parallax errors, due to, that is, measuring in the reading of the meter scale. And how you can eliminate this error? This error can be eliminated by using modern displayed instruments, that is digital instruments, rather than you are having analogous, that is the needle ones. So this ends up the first category of errors. Now coming to second category of errors. Now static errors. Static errors are arising because of the limitation of the measuring device or physical law governing the behavior. Means there is certain limitation of the instrument. These errors can be eliminated by using proper range of the measuring device and scale as per the application. So you should be using the appropriate instrument, and every instrument has certain limitation. So appropriate application, appropriate instrument will eliminate this error. Improper use of improper instrument for inappropriate measurement will cause you this error. Now coming to dynamic error. Dynamic error is caused because of the instrument not responding fast enough to follow the changes in the measured value. Means when the reading is being changing, the instrument is not capable of taking the next value that is been obtained for it. That is, it is not able to grasp the updated value. It is very slow in that. So this is called dynamic error. How this can be eliminated? This can be eliminated by using new standard models of instruments for the particular application. That is, an upgradation of the instrument is been required. Now coming to random or residual errors. These errors are basically present itself, which can neither be explained nor can be corrected. So these errors are called as random or residual errors, which arises randomly and are which are present. This is called as, that is why it is named as residual. Now how can we eliminate this error? This error can be eliminated by increasing number of readings and using statistical means for best approximation of the time value under measurement. Means number of iterations should be increased. Because this error is no doubtly residual, it is 100% there. It cannot be eliminated nor it can be removed. Errors. Now these are the errors that are introduced in the value of the quantity under measurement. To get the exact value of this, different techniques are to be adopted and different observers are also to be used if you want to avoid this error. So some of the basic techniques that are being available are statistical analysis, arithmetic mean, deviation from mean, average deviation, standard deviation and variance. Now coming to the last error, which is the limiting or also called as guaranteeing errors. Limiting errors are provided by the manufacturer in order to ensure the purchaser of the quality of the instrument. So here this error is provided by the instrument itself. Means this instrument is capable of measuring certain percentage of value and this much amount of error is possible. So this much error is possible within the instrument. This is been carried by the manufacturer. So we have to limit our measurement to this particular value. Okay, so this is about limiting error. So this question of error is a very important topic from electronic measurement point of view. So there is nothing much in this when compared with respect to the technical point of view. That is, there is no that much amount of derivation or mathematical. No doubtly it's very much technical, but you don't have much more amount of mathematics from derivative approach. So this is a important long answer, and this subject, specifically electronic instrumentation, is a scoring subject. You can easily score good marks, and whatever the topics what we have discussed over here are all very much realistic. No doubtly the subject engineering is also very much is completely realistic, but the topic here what you are directly hearing and what you are understanding is completely easy in a layman level to understand with respect to the realistic and day-to-day basis. So I hope that you will be scoring more marks in this subject. You can easily score nearly 90 to 80% marks in this. So in today's class we have covered about errors, which is the main topic in today's class. Second, we have covered the characteristics of precision. And we have also covered resolution and sensitivity. If you have any queries, you can feel free to comment us regarding any of the topic in the subject. We will be trying to answer you in the best possible manner. Thank you.